We were all scared, but we weren't really that scared, because you always think it's not going to be me. It's the other guy that's going to get hit. It's not going to be me. That's infantry philosophy. It's not me. It's going to be somebody else. And we had great training from the old-timers from Africa and Sicily. They taught us what to do. In other words, they said, when they drop the ramp, you don't go out the ramp, because that's where the machine gun is waiting for you. You go over the side. I was scared, but you're not really that scared. Number one, everybody around you is scared, but you don't want to act scared in front of your buddies. You know, this stuff, apple pie and ice cream and democracy, that's crock of bull. We infantry guys, you were fighting for your buddy, the guy on the right and the left of you. You didn't want to let them down. That's what it was all about. And you really didn't think you were going to get hit. Never dawned on me that I'd get hit. We couldn't see any landmarks, and the current and the tide was going to the east, and it blew us away from our beach. So by the time we came back in close, the smoke had lifted a little bit, and we saw there were boats in there, and we knew where we were by then. But when we were coming in, the beach was completely covered with smoke. We couldn't see any landmarks, and there was no boat at the line of departure to tell us we're on the right heading. We veered off course and heading toward Arromanches, the British beach. When Captain Richmond realized what was wrong, we turned around and came back. So instead of landing at 6:30, we didn't land till 0800. Now the beach was still hot, but if we had landed at 0630, I wouldn't be here today. But anyways, the last 4 boats, we couldn't get ashore because all the boats from Easy Red on the right flank had come over and fouled our beach, so it was circling. We were about 400 yards off. When we came in, we turned to go in, we were about 400 meters off. And that's when they started hitting us. As we're circling, all 4 of our boats was knocked off by 88s and by mines. My boat was hit, was blown up in the air. All I remember is hitting my head against the bulkhead. I say it was an 88, and they say it was a mine, because they had mines on all these obstacles as we went in. I think it sounded to me like an explosion in 88. That's what did most of the damage, was the 88. You know? But it hit us on the right-hand side, and the boat went over this way. So my head, went this way. Because I was one of the first 4 riflemen. I was right up in the front, right behind the ramp. The whole idea was the 4 riflemen were supposed to rush ashore and start shooting at people. First sergeant didn't like me. I think that's why he put me up there. I had to run in with him. But when a boat was blown up, the English craft came in like this. And so I was so close to the bulkhead, it didn't take much for me to hit the bulkhead when the boat went over, and that's when I cracked my skull. And I had a big shell fragment in my shoulder. That's why I think it was an 88, because it was a shell fragment in my shoulder. That's what the medic took out when I was on the beach. So I think it was an 88. But the other boats allegedly they hit mines.